Good morning. It's Wednesday, October 29th. Thanks for joining us on Up to the Minute. I'm Dr. Lana Pigao, Communications Director at HCC Northwest. And this morning, my co-host is Dr. Natalie Garza, a member of our history faculty here at Houston City College. Natalie, how are you? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Well, we are halfway through the week. Are you looking forward to Halloween?
I am. My kids still like getting dressed and going trick-or-treating, so it's fun. I am
Oh,
looking
that's
forward to
great.
it.
Yeah, I think that the best thing about Halloween when you get home and your kids are all nestled in bed, you get to go through their candy and
Yeah.
pull out your favorite. Yeah, that's the
Yeah, they
best.
already know what to pull out for me, so it's okay.
That's great. Well, why don't you tell everybody how they can find us?
We're on the Houston City College District Facebook page, not HCC, and we're on YouTube. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and on HCC TV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Right. And later in the show, Natalie will visit with someone our longtime viewers of Up to the Minute know well, Randee Ramsey. She's the executive director of Southwest Alternate Media Project. Welcome, Randee.
Good morning. It's always great to be here with you guys.
Well, we look forward to hearing from you, but we'll be with you in about 10 minutes. But first, for Good Works Wednesday, we're joined by Dr. Ann Miller. She's the director of our Physical Therapy Assistant Program, and one of her students is here with her, Sherman Walker. They found a way to use their professional skills to advance a personal passion. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So, Ann, we'll start with you. Tell us about your professional background and give us an overview of the PT Assistant program here at HCC.
Sure. Well, I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I graduated from Texas A&M with my bachelor's and then went to TW Houston right down the street and did my master's degree. And then about 5 years ago, I transitioned to the doctor of physical therapy. So I was in clinical practice for about 10 years in public health before moving and doing some various other work, and then ended up on the academic side here at HCC in the PTA program. Here at HCC, my role is actually the director of clinical education, so not the program director, and I work to put students in their clinical affiliations, and then I have a full-time faculty role teaching in the classroom as well. So I teach in neuro rehab, a little bit in our therapeutic exercise classes and some of our other courses in the program, but my clinical specialty is neuro rehab, which is very close to my heart because my father-in-law has Parkinson's disease, which is how our program got hooked up with HAPS, the Houston Area Parkinson Society.
Wow. So this past Saturday, you took a group of your students to an event held by Houston Area Parkinson Society, which is HAPS. Tell us about the event and how HCC came to be involved with it.
So HAPS is a large organization focused on community outreach and support for persons with Parkinson's disease. And since that is, so one of our roles or one of our goals in our program is to make sure that our students have community experiences, have an opportunity to meet their community and serve their community while they're going through their educational program. We know HAPS through my father-in-law. When they moved from Dallas to Houston, HAPS was able to connect us with doctors and resources. And Maggie Abbott is the director of outreach there. And so she and I worked to find some patients for a course that we were taking together. And that's how Maggie and I got together. And then we found out as through our conversations and our efforts to become partners, both, her in our classroom and us with HAPS in the community, that the No Falls Fest was happening in October, which aligned perfectly with the neuro rehab course that we're teaching right now. So we'll be working and talking about this clinical population in our course, and this gives our students an ability to kind of get a firsthand look of what a population looks like in real life and interact with patients and people out in their community. So our students were able to go and volunteer this weekend.
So do you find that your students might be a little trepidatious when they first meet folks with Parkinson's or other
Oh, absolutely.
issues?
Right.
Yeah.
As a new learner, it's always challenging um, to meet a new challenge, to put your skills to work when you haven't had much of an opportunity to see it in real life. But I think that actually having the opportunity to see and meet people in person maybe brings that down a little bit, right? It takes the scary part out out of being a therapist and having to hold this very professional outlook and know it all to just a person-to-person
Mhm.
interaction.
Yeah, I bet that's important. So Sherman, let's get to you now. This project came at a valuable time for you, because you also have a personal connection with this condition. Tell us about that and why you wanted to volunteer.
I do. My father also has
Mm.
Parkinson's, and I know how things are dealing with him every day, but it's interesting to see how it affects many different people in different ways. Not everyone presents the same, and you have different challenges to meet just on a daily basis. So you always have to be thinking, coming up with ways to deal with life, essentially. So it was great. The event was nice. I got to meet some really cool people, see some challenges that they are going through on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully, give them a little bit of insight as to what they can do to maybe make things a little easier.
That's great. So what was your experience like? What did you take away from it that could help you in your career and in your family as part of your father's care?
So there was a lot of crossover between, what he deals with and what some of the other patients, the population sees. Um, what I really liked was just seeing the positive attitude. People are dealing with challenges, but they're taking it in stride. They're still very positive. Like I said, looking to get the most out of life and not let this disability affect them, so much mentally. So that was really cool just to see again how people are dealing with this and still living their lives.
Yeah, I'm sure they appreciate the support that's out there for them, because I would imagine that the diagnosis is pretty devastating, but there's help out there, there's assistance, there's a way to deal with it.
Yes, it lets you know that you're not alone
Right.
out there. Sometimes you feel like, man, I'm going through this and there's no one to reach out to and there's no one to help. But the HAPS organization has been so great. They've helped us get things set up for him and, so many other people in the city. So it's really great to get out there and see what's going on.
That's wonderful. Well, and what do you hope students take away from the experience?
So when our role in the No Falls Fest this past weekend was to test patients for orthostatic hypotension, so a drop in blood pressure, which is a very common occurrence. That gives our students a chance to practice their clinical skills and to provide a little education. And then it allows our persons with Parkinson's to come away with a little bit of data to take back to their doctors. So an opportunity to learn what it feels like to really provide real-time education and have a conversation and learn some basic personal skills. And then our students also worked with other students from other programs, TW Houston, UTMB, U of H, audiology, were all there. And our students got to work at an interprofessional learning relationship, testing balance with the PT students. What will that be like in the clinic when they're both working partners, and how can they work together to support their community? So
That's great. Yeah, that's important to know that there are other parts of what you're going to do and how to work with those folks. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the PTA program?
absolutely. So our program is 5 semesters long. We start a single cohort every year in August. We take up to 55 students starting in August each year, and they travel through the program together. So they take every course together every semester. The first 3 semesters are all on campus, in person, what we call didactic and lab courses. And then the third, on their second year, the beginning of their second year, they start their clinical rotations. So they go out and they practice under a licensed clinician in a real environment for 6 weeks. Then they come back to campus with us and they take 2 of their final courses, and then end their program in the spring with their terminal clinical education courses. All in all, our program has incredible pass rates on our board exam. And we were talking earlier about our employment rates being so high, so fast in the
So
past few
impressive.
years. It's been wonderful. Certainly, physical therapy has an incredible employment stability and growth opportunities within the profession.
Awesome. Well, Sherman, we were talking earlier, this is your second career.
Yes.
What made you choose to this program of all programs that you could have You could have got.
I've heard great things about this program, before applying and just even deciding what I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to be with something hands-on where I could give back to people facing different challenges. And after hearing about this program and knowing what it entails, I figured this would be a good fit for me. Challenging, but doable.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
5 semesters. I mean, that's
it's a
pretty good.
commitment.
Yeah,
It
it's a commitment,
is.
but it's not a 2-year or 4-year program. You get to, you get
Exactly.
your education and you get to go do what
Yes,
you like
having
to
the
do.
hands-on component of the learning gives you some great insight to what you're going to be facing long term. So
Awesome.
that's been great.
Okay, so to wrap up, why don't you go ahead and tell our audience one thing that you would like them to know about Parkinson's?
Okay. Oh gosh, one thing only, huh? So, from a physical therapy standpoint, falls are one of the most prevalent problems in our Parkinson's population. I want them to know that there's resources. That's probably number one. No matter what they're dealing with, there's a huge community out there for support. HAPS is one of our primary resources, but within that group, find a physical therapist, find a HAPS group, find an exercise group. There's someone out there to meet that need.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ann Miller, Director of the Clinical Education, and Sherman Walker, he's a student in the program. We'll have your program's information for HAPS in our post after the show.
Great.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is very enlightening.
So nice to
Thank
meet
you
you
for
all.
having us.
Yeah.
And up next, after a commercial break, Natalie will learn about the 17th Annual Houston Cinema Arts Festival.
For over 50 years, HCC has been here for you. Affordable, accessible, focused on your success. This is your college, growing, evolving, expanding with you. More bachelor's degrees, stronger workforce training, online learning with global reach. A new name, the same mission, bigger vision. Houston City College, local focus, global reach. Register now at hccs.edu.
Our individual voices are powerful, but not everything has a voice. Let us be a voice to the voiceless. It's time to speak up for nature.
Poison Help is a free 24/7 hotline that answers all of your poison questions in over 100 languages.
Hello? Poison Help?
Hello? When poison happens, we're here for you. Just call Poison Help, 1-800-222-1222.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. We're joined by Randee Ramsey, Executive Director of Southwest Alternate Media Project. Hi, Randee.
Hi, Natalie. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you again.
I'm always thrilled to be here.
So Swamp is getting ready for one of the Houston media scene's major annual events, the Houston Cinema Arts Festival. Can you give us an overview of the event?
Sure. This year, for the first time ever, Southwest Alternate Media Project is the official education partner with the Houston Cinema Arts Society to present the Houston Cinema Arts Festival, which is amazing. It's the largest international film festival in Houston. It's 10 days long. It opens on November 6th. We have over 50 films, documentaries, musical performance. We have an arts market, staged readings, and of course, workshops for professionals at every level and beginners at every level of their career in film here in Houston.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems so wide-ranging. As somebody not affiliated with this field, I think of like an arts fest or a cinema festival, and I think it's just movies. And so the idea that you have all of this other stuff to go along with it.
Well, Houston Cinema Arts Festival has been expanding over the last few years. It is one of the premier festivals in the city, and we're super excited to be partnering with them. Some of the really amazing movies that I just really am so excited about is Charlie Bird, which was filmed here locally. It's part of the Houston focus. We do have an entire Houston Shorts block. We have Borders No Borders, which is focused on regional films. We also have CineSpace, which uses NASA footage for 10% of the film, and is just really, really fun because they use this footage so creatively. It's super amazing. I just love it because some people combine it with animation, some of it's experimental, some of it's super narrative, but it's really a good time, and it's great to be partnered with NASA. And that's just the tiny bit. So if you go to cinemahtx.org, you'll see the entire schedule, which includes a lot of workshops, including field trips for high school students. We're doing a retrospective of Cabin in the Sky, one of the breakout films for Lena Horne. We're doing that at Deluxe, the historic Deluxe Theater in Houston's Fifth Ward, and we're bringing hundreds of students in to watch Vincent Minnelli's Cabin in the Sky, with local film historian Ralph Nickerson doing a talk back with the kids. And then we have Bryn Shovitz coming in for the evening screening to do a book signing, and her book is all about race and Hollywood, and that's going to be a great night. And that's Monday the 10th at the Deluxe Theater.
So that's a really great opportunity that you said we're having for high school kids. Can you tell us a little bit more? Swamp, my understanding, is an official education partner of the film festival of the festival this year. How did that come about, and why is that important?
So the Houston Cinema Arts Society and Southwest Alternate Media Project have been working together for 3 years, presenting the Houston Media Conference. And so it became a natural evolution of our work together, putting together a 4-day media professional development weekend, that when it came time for the festival, that we would come on board as the education partner, because that's what Swamp has been doing for nearly 50 years in Houston. We've been providing advocacy, education, and amplifying emerging filmmakers' voices. We do 12 to 20 workshops a year, depending upon the year, but this year we're doing a dozen different workshops, and those are everything from stage readings of Hoops Town, which is a locally written screenplay that is having a stage reading and hasn't gone into production yet. And that was also supported by HAA and MOCA grants, and also ELF, which is about an 1800s German mathematician whose proof about the nature of infinity caused like huge upheaval. And that's written by Fatima Hai. So we're really excited to do that. We're also really excited to have Here, which is a 2-part audio workshop that I'm super excited about. Echo During and Scott Szabo, our local composer, are having a Chinese tea service over on the grounds of the Mill. We're going to record that. Then we're going to record natural sound. And the next day, we're going to come back and take all of that sound and weave it into an art piece. So we're making like an audio quilt. We're having like an audio quilting bee, and it's just super fun. Like, I love the idea that it's avant-garde art, but it's also hands-on good knowledge. And I've been very excited to share that opportunity with my students. And then Steve Wolshin, who is a Canadian teacher, film conservationist, animator, craftsman, artist. Steve does lots of things, but we have a hands-on workshop with him called Scratching the Frame, where you're literally going to paint and scratch actual film frames to create your own custom animation. He's going to digitize it and show the piece afterward. He's also doing a masterclass at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston, another Houston Cinema Arts Festival partner, and we're super excited about that. And we have Freedom House with KB Brookins. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just going to ask, like, these workshops, you mentioned that your students are going to be, access to them. Does the public have access to all of these workshops as well?
Absolutely. Everyone has access to them. And that's what I'm super excited about. Like, I know I was like just talking, but I'm so excited because these are all affordable. They're available to everyone. And for our students in particular at HCC, memberships to the Houston Cinema Arts Society are free. And their student discount will automatically be applied to anything, any tickets, a full access badge, and give them a significant discount right off the bat. So our students from Houston Christian University, from U of H, from TSU, it's available to all of them, but it's also available to people who are like, oh my gosh, scratching animation into a film frame, that just sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, I just thinking about the variety of workshops that are available and actually being able to get hands-on experience doing them, that, that is something just really exciting for the community overall. Um, I understand there's a couple of other workshops. I think you were going to talk about Freedom House.
Freedom House with KB Brookins, a collaboration with ACLU of Texas. It's going to provide a blueprint for how do you integrate art and advocacy. And it wants to challenge the architecture of individual activism, which right now, at a time when artists' voices are being shut down, I think it's really important that we talk about this. And then Sleepover Films is doing a hands-on production workshop, and it will, help everybody create inspiring personal story for cinema, which I think right now, when there are people whose voices are being muted, taking unique personal stories and helping people find those and amplify them is incredibly important. But the goal is for it to be everything from hands-on and challenging to an artistic experience that inspires you to create more and in a different way.
Right. And I think, you're making an important point about art being a way to express yourself, art being a way to deal with difficult situations. And, all of that is sounds like it's being brought out in the workshops. And one of the things that stood out to me, we're talking about the stage readings. Can you explain what that is a little bit?
Sure. As you go into production to film, it's really hard to know how the flow of things are going to go because obviously we shoot out of order. We don't shoot in the order of the script. So it is really, really good for the filmmaker to hear the story in its entirety live in voices and also to get feedback from the audience on that. So we will literally have, I think in the case of Hoopstown, we have 21 actors portraying every role. We'll narrate it. There's some video clips that are intertwined with it, but they'll act out the scenes and be able to get feedback from the audience to tighten and enhance the script before they go into production. And that's always exciting because you get to be part of the creative journey.
Yeah, and I would imagine that that's really helpful to those who are writing those stories as well, to give them an opportunity to fix it up more if they feel it's necessary. Can you tell us all where we can go for more information?
Absolutely. You can go to cinemahtx.org. That's the website. It has the entire schedule, or you can just Google Houston Cinema Arts Society or Houston Cinema Arts Festival, and it'll pop right up there with an inventive link for you.
Thank you, Randee Ramsey, Executive Director of Southwest Alternate Media Project. We'll have all your info in our post after the show. Coming up after a quick commercial break, Lana and I will return with some news and announcements.
HCC ha estado para ti, accesible y enfocado en tus éxitos. Más carreras, formación avanzada, aprendizaje global en línea. Nuevo nombre, misma misión, visión más amplia. Houston City College. Regístrate en hcc.edu.
Art is hard.
But not as hard as living in an over-policed community.
Art is hard.
But not as hard as accessing mental health resources.
Art is hard.
But not as hard as being uprooted by gentrification. At Artistic Noise, art creates a community for system-impacted youth to be seen
and heard.
Learn more at artisticnoise.org.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. Now we have some events that are going on around the district. First, we have the 2025 Allied Health Summit at Coleman College. It's the first of its kind forum designed to bring together thought leaders, educators, practitioners, and students to explore the evolving landscape of allied health. And that is next Tuesday, November 4th, which is Election Day. And it is at the HCC Coleman College. For more information, check out our post after the show. And Natalie, the Alumni Association has a social coming up.
Yes, they have a fall networking social. So join other HCC Eagle alumni for this exciting event with featured speaker Dr. Kara Breenden, founder and CEO of Texas Forensic Nurse Examiners. This is a nonprofit community-based forensic nursing program, and that will happen Tuesday, November 20th at 6 p.m., the West Loop campus, 5601 West Loop South. For more info, check our post after the show.
And if you don't know what to do during the Christmas break, there is HCC's winter mini session. It has dozens of courses to help you get the basics out of the way quicker and smarter. Take a class during the winter break. Classes begin December 16th and are small, affordable, and accessible. For more information, check out our post after the show. And National STEM Day is coming up, Natalie.
Yes, join us at the HCC Central Library. The Student Library Advisory Council and Central Science Club present a special event in celebration of National STEM Day. It is called Cultivating Innovation, Technology, and Sustainability in Agriculture. I heard them talk about this. It sounds like an exciting event. It will happen Thursday, November 6th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the HCC Central Campus. For a link to register, check our post after the show.
And we know it's only October. It's about to be November. Spring registration is open. HCC offers a variety of semester lanes and start dates in several modalities that include in-person, online, anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, and hybrid labs. Register early to get your preferred classes and times and professors. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply. And coming up tomorrow, we celebrate a special Throwback Thursday Family Fun Day with the Texas Historical Commission. Thank you for joining us. Natalie, I hope you had fun. Thank you for being here and co-hosting with me.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will see you all next time.
Ashton was a high-level athlete. She was, even at 5. And in an instant, your world flips. And your healthy 5-year-old competitive cheerleader, softball player has a brain tumor.
My thoughts were, I'm gonna lose my daughter.
And the physician was like, your best option is St. Jude. Coming here and receiving treatment that was life-saving for our child, and knowing that that treatment would be of no cost to us was a huge weight lifted. You can be present 100% here for Ashton. That meant the world to us.
We're very, very thankful for the fact that we have St. Jude and to get a second chance with Ashton.